Okay.
Thank you, Council. Good morning.
Morning.
Today is the February 4th, March the 4th, 2022. I'd like to call to order the Osage Minerals Council meeting. Before we go to the opening prayer, I'd just like to say that we've had another loss in our community. It's very close to us as a people. And with that being said, I'd like to make sure I'm going to ask Secretary Reddy to do us a prayer, and we have some services tomorrow. I'm going to try to attend. I just need a prayer out to these mourners. We have had such a loss in our tribe. With that, I'd like to ask Second Chair to give us an opening prayer. Shanka Awatu Wakam.
Humbly, Chairman. Dati Wakanda, Wakanda Jinki. Nekote Hala Wakanda, Hanakomba Wajadi, the Majadita de Dani Howede de Wajadi, Okishma de Wajaji, Disa Pele Wajaji. Majadita de Wakanda, Wakanda Jinki, Onale de Wajaji. Hilana Balabata. Thank you, Father, for this beautiful day. Thank you for the beautiful seasons that you granted, Father. Going into springtime, Father, green grass like that, Father. Bless lead us and guide us today, Father, into the future, Father. Bless all our council members. Bless our families, Father. Tandoli de Wukika de Easy walk by the Wajaji. All the families here in the morning, Father. Bless them, Father. Lead and guide them into the future, Father. Strengthen him, Father, in the days to come, the hours and the days to come, Father. Pasoli de Wajaji, Wakafoli de. Again, I ask you, Father, bless our people, Father, the shareholders, Father, the elders, Father, our young grandchildren, Father. Bless them, Father. They're the future. Bless us in this meeting, Father. All the Wajaji, the Wakanda, Kanji, Ajinki, come, brother. Give us strength, Father, to bring our minds together for the betterment of our shareholders, Father, the betterment of our people. Gashana Wakanda Jiki Day. Yeah, keep sharing that way we know that Wakanda Jiki. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Brad. Shanka, I'd like to go into roll call, please.
Councilwoman Foreman?
Present.
Councilwoman Gray?
Here.
Councilwoman Harlan?
Here.
Councilman Redcorn?
Here.
Second Chair Redigal?
Here.
Councilman Rebar?
Present.
Chairman Waller?
Present.
You have a quorum.
Before I go into the agenda, I'd like to say a few words. Number one is that we have a oil and gas summit we're preparing for. To our shareholders, go to our website. We have the information available. The registration is going to be available. I have on another concern my staff. For our council, we have 3 people who are so hardworking that I want to commend them today. Number one is that I have Miss Pipestem, who has a service with us for a year. I want to acknowledge that today and thank her. Linnea Turley has completed her education on her bachelor's. To do the job, do the work, and do the study, I want to commend her on that. I know there were times in which it gets pretty tough. And with that, I want the support of our council and let her know that we appreciate it. Also, my staff, Lacey Reynolds, has now received her master's.
Amen.
I cannot tell her how hard this was for me to watch her go through this and then achieve her goal. I couldn't be any prouder on behalf of the council. I want to thank all 3 of them from the depths of my heart. I've worked up there for decades, and I've not seen more dedicated people than we have. The council thanks you, we thank you, and your shareholders thank you.
Yes.
Because no one goes without being told once in a while what they've done wrong. We just don't have enough times in which we tell you what we've done right. And you all 3 are, I give a commitment to you that will be here for you. We want you to excel in every position, and we really, really want to honor you at this time, and thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to talk about the agenda at this time. I do have one issue that came up that I'd like the council to allow our election supervisor, Ms. Pocket, to give us an update at this meeting. Would anyone, I'd like to put it on first and let her take care of that and get back to her office.
Chairman,
Yes.
that is perfectly fine with me. I do want to remind you, and I didn't see it on the agenda, that I had requested and you agreed to have a talk about our lease sale.
Yes, ma'am. And I was going to ask that, and I needed you to bring that up on two efforts. That we'll add that under old business, and then any comments we can make then. And I think there's some other questions, and we'll entertain those at that time. There's one other issue, and I can just tell you this, is that I'm going to speak about it in an executive and give you an update. We don't understand, but it's forthcoming. With that being said, I'd like to ask Lacey, is Miss Parker available?
Yes, she's walking in right now.
Her timing is impeccable. Ask her if we would like to add this to the agenda, and the floor is hers. Give her just a moment, though, to sit down.
If they can't hear you, that's why she's under this mic.
Can they hear me?
Microphone.
Oh, okay, I can go over there.
Okay.
I can go over there.
Did you leave?
I thought I left my lens cap up here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry that
Can you hear me now, Chairman?
Wait.
Am I on now?
Yeah, we can.
All right. I want to thank you, Chairman Waller. I just have a little summary of what we've done since the middle of February. First off, I want to say that the filing dates are March 1 to March 15.
Pardon me, I can barely hear her.
All right.
We need a mic. Does she have a mic?
Yes. Can you turn your volume down? You're really loud, Councilman Foreman.
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Is it turned on? Let me see.
Nope, not very well.
How about now? Any better? Any better? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Then you can hear her. Can you hear me now? All right. All right. Thank you, Chairman Waller. I just have a summary of what we have done since the middle of February. I would like to say first, though, the filing dates are March 1 to March 15th. They have until April the 4th to return the information that will be given out to them. Okay, we opened the office, set up the computers, and 3 office workers, set up the telephone, finished updating forms for candidate filing and instruction and other forms, notified newspapers, Osage News, Fairfax Chief, notified and set up websites with ON, OMC, OSA, and other Facebook sites. Set up and arranged payment for the post office box in Pawhuska. Officially opened Osage Mineral Council election office on Tuesday, March 1, 2022. Working on Mineral Council notice for chairman. Working on judge and clerks plus alternates. That's my summary.
Yes, Council. Lacey, please call on her.
There aren't any hands raised.
Thank you.
I do, it's not related to the report, but I'm getting messages from shareholders that are saying they can't log into the meeting, it's not on YouTube. Is there a problem with our meeting being public?
Let me step out and I'll call IT.
That's a nice.
That'll be on the nation's platform. We'll call IT immediately.
Thank you.
Yes, dear. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate the work and getting the office open. Is there anything that you need to add to that, Ms. Bonker?
Not at this time, except I'd just like to say thank you to the workers because they have worked hard and they have been diligently trying to get this all updated and on time, and we are.
And thank you, and I appreciate our staff of the election committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that, council, I'd like to move on down the agenda. I'd like to bring up the petty cash. Councilwoman Foreman.
Thank you, Chairman. As far as I know, we do not have a petty cash account. And I know that over the years, there have been some problems getting a thumb drive or washing one of the vehicles we've acquired. As all of you know, petty cash is just a small amount of cash to have around, to do small things. So we don't have to, wait a month for a meeting to approve something. So I don't know if we've had one in the past and it was eliminated for whatever reason, but I think we do need to have one. I'm not talking about big money here. Things like washing our vehicles. We do want to have a good presence out there in the public. So a dirty vehicle. Plus, it's good for maintaining vehicles. Washing salt and sand out from underneath when we have bad weather. But so basically, I would like to. I'm making a motion that our chief of staff establish a standard procedure for petty cash, for a petty cash account with all the proper accountability included in there. And that's my motion.
Isn't this a nation thing?
Chairman, Lacey has her hand up.
Before I entertain the second, I'd like to turn the floor over to Lacey Reynolds and let her update.
That's fine.
This will help go along the answer.
Okay.
Ms. Reynolds, thank you.
We do have a petty cash. It's in the amount of $200, but for stuff like washing vehicles, maintenance of vehicles, we have POs for those.
I can't hear you, Lacey. I heard that we do have a petty cash.
We have petty cash. Hello? Yeah. We have petty cash. It's only the amount of $200, but for stuff like washing and maintaining vehicles, we have a PO. I'm not going to use petty cash for washing a vehicle that's just going to go back out in the field the next day. I'm the custodian of that.
We can't hear you all.
No, I can't. You said you had a PO for washing a car?
Yes.
I don't understand.
You turn in your receipts to the procurement.
For washing a car?
We follow the process of procurement, and
I'm sorry, I just cannot hear you. I don't know. Your microphone is
Call in.
on.
Call in.
Use the microphone, lady.
she can't hear me on my phone either.
I do know, if I may, I do know it's available, and the POs are covering through procurement, the Osage Nation accounting. The petty cash, as we recognize it, is used in the conditions in which you're speaking, but it has to be upon receipt. And that's any expenditure that is encumbered, that with the receipt properly identifying the Osage Minerals Council, that can be taken then and put back into the account.
Well, I thank you for that, and I can actually hear anyone that's online. I can hear much better. If we have a petty cash account and it's working fine, then I will rescind my motion because it doesn't sound like we need one. But I think a purchase order. Well, I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. If it's working fine, if our chief of staff thinks it's working fine, then I'll just rescind my motion and we'll go from there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Can you
you.
hear me now?
With that, I won't be talking for a second. I'd like to move on down.
I make the motion we go into executive session.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Council. I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Gray, seconded by Second Chair Red Eagle. Discussion to go into executive. Hearing none. Call for the question.
I've got my hand up.
Yes, Council.
Yeah. I haven't heard a word about, I haven't hardly heard anything that comes out of the chamber, so I don't know what you're voting on.
Yes, Council, I understand that. I am struggling with it also. We are going to call for the question to go into executive to get our update from our attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Foreman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gray?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan?
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn?
Yes.
Second Chair Red Eagle?
Yes.
Councilman Rebar? Chairman Waller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yes, Lacey, I'll need you to go ahead and direct the room as host and get Mr. Pipestem's availability, and we'll go from there. Thank you.